So it's a good afternoon in Switzerland, good morning here in Montreal with Walter Gschwendtner.
That's right, yes.
Whoa, it's not easy for an English, but I've got there.
Yes, I know.
Walter, it's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you, Regan, and I hope we see each other in Poland in a few weeks' time.
Let's talk about this, the Gordon Bennett. What do you think of the recent announcement? What's your impression?
I think we can fly in Poland because you know, we will not enter many borders because of this COVID situation and so on. And maybe we only can fly in Poland, exception if we fly to the North, Finland or something like this across the Northern Sea. But I'm still, we are preparing for flying in Poland, yeah.
So how would that change the game? What would be different?
Oh, you know, this is a change of the game like I wanted it. You know, if we have to fly 75 hours or so, yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit too old to handle this. You know, it's easy. It's not so easy just to sit there in the basket and go on. And you know, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to go to the toilet, all this stuff. And the younger, they can easily do it than us. So now, if we expect to fly maybe for 30 hours or 24 hours to reach the border, you know, there's much a better chance for me to get a good place or even to win it, you know?
Yes.
Because the time is then on my side, and then our meteorologist, she can work out a nice way to fly, you know?
Yeah.
To reach the border somewhere in a corner where the others not can reach, maybe, you know?
So it still is the distance. We're still going on the longest distance, but inside the border, that's what we would be looking at potentially.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And, you know, they said it's possible to fly into Ukraine to a certain place.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if this is a good idea, because these people, you know, not the Ukrainian outside in the countryside, you know, they can't handle a balloon.
Right.
Sure not. Even not on the smaller airports. I spoke to the Russians years ago, and they also said, you know, you better don't fly into Russia, even if you got the permission to fly in there. But if the controller, the ATC guy, somewhere out in the countryside on any airport, we don't know this airport is existing, he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And this could be quite dangerous, I think.
Wow. It is. The potential is there, isn't it, for all sorts of adventure, and it's not as cut and dried as you would imagine it would be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it will be again a great adventure anyway.
Yeah. So what have you been up to these last few months, Walter? What have you been doing?
No, we couldn't do nothing, you know. It's about 6 months ago we have been up in the air with a hydrogen balloon. You know, I made a few flights on the hot air balloon. I can start just outside my house and then you're up in the air for 1.5 or 2 hours. This is not the same business than flying this hydrogen balloons. And the last time we were, you know, the place where we can start is just next to the German border. There's only the River Rhine in between it, and to cross the border would be not the problem, but to get back, you know, because of this COVID situation, we are not allowed until we go to quarantine for 10 days or so on. So that's why we didn't start it for so long time, because if we enter Germany or even further Austria, so it would be difficult to get home again.
Yeah.
Even last time we were flying, we were flying from Zurich to Vienna. It was such a nice flight at night, and we landed about 50 miles before we reached Vienna, and to to go home, you know, up with that retrieve car, we went first up to Germany because we were not allowed from Austria to enter Switzerland.
Right.
So we went up to Germany and entered to Switzerland across the German border. But now everything has changed the last days. And we are planning on Saturday, not this Saturday, the Saturday in a week. We are planning a flight through the night again also. And then it doesn't matter which direction. It could even be France. We are allowed to come back from any side into Switzerland. You know, Switzerland is such a small country. You got from one end to the other, so about 350 kilometers. And with a balloon, you got this in 12 hours easily, you know.
And 4 languages in such a small country as well.
Yeah. You know, actually 3 are very important: the Italian, the French, and the German. And the other one, this Latin language, is only being spoken up in the mountains across St. Moritz and so on. And I don't think with the balloon it's a good idea to get into these mountains, you know.
Right.
You better go across them.
Yeah. So let's go right the way back, Walter. I want to hear how your love affair with the sky began. Where did it all begin for you? How did it all begin?
Oh, everything began when I was actually a student, a young student. I saw the first time I saw in a real place in Austria. I saw the parachuting. I saw the guys jumping out of the aeroplane, and then then everything started, you know. Yeah. And for me it was just sure this is the thing I would like. I will do. So, and in the early 70s, I went from Austria to South Africa, and I was just for work there in South Africa, and I was only 1 week in Joburg at that time in 1973, when I first jumped out of an airplane.
I didn't know that.
Before I had work, I had contact to some Swiss guys who were jumping there at the Western Area Parachute Club outside of Johannesburg. And then I became a member of the Western Area Parachute Club, and I was there every weekend. You know, all my friends, my girlfriend, they all went out to see the landscape, to see the animals up in the Regan National Park. Not me. I always went every spare minute out to the parachute club. And this was quite a good experience. We started with the normal military canopies, you know, the round one. You couldn't steer, you just could turn, but not steer. And you hit the ground like a
sack of potatoes.
Fast. You had to get used to it. And then later on, I bought myself a parachute, a French Papillon.
Oh, right, yes, I know this.
I'm very proud of this. You know, this was the French version of the Paracommander.
Yeah.
And at that time, and then I was jumping with this one for the rest of my time in South Africa. We had something like a show jump team for a petrol company, and out on horse races, or when a rugby game somewhere out in the countryside, we brought the ball, if possible, brought the ball into the rugby stadium or to the horse race course. And this was quite very, very nice time with lots of adventures. Once one of our mates broke both of his legs, you know, and we were flying out to the countryside. There's lots of space, and we always were flying close to the ground to check out where he can land to pick us up again, you know.
Right.
And then we made our jump, and the people from there brought us back to this field where the aeroplane was waiting. So we had to bring this guy back home. We had to look how we put him into the plane and so on. And he had pain and like this. So it would So it became night when we came to our place, to our airfield in Western area, and other friends from Joburg came out with the cars just to put some little light onto to our airfield. Was really adventurous. And once I hit a power line, a small one, just in front of a court. This was the local court, you know. Then the whole village didn't have power for a few hours. You know? Because my pilot chute with with this iron the spring inside, you know, he made the shortcut. And then it started burning there, and I was standing there like an idiot. So later on, we decided not to stay in South Africa. My wife, she was also there with me in this parachute club, and we decided to go back to Europe, end of '75. And in Europe was not so easy at that time, you know, with working and so on. So we had to find out how we sort out our life. And at the end, we landed here in Switzerland. You know, I'm Austrian, actually, born in Austria, an Austrian citizen by that time. And then we landed in Switzerland, and that's where I saw the first balloon. And it was the same feeling as the one was when I first saw the parachute, you know. And I said, I have to do this. And I always was driving with the car to the places where the balloons landed, and spoke to these guys. And once I found one, quite a friendly guy, I said, yeah, if you want to become pilot, you just join our club. That's what I did. And this was, and then on the 9/8/89, yes, I had the license for hot air balloon.
1989.
1989, yeah. August 1989, yes. And from then on, I didn't jump anymore out of an airplane. I always was on the balloon. And what I mostly liked at this time was, you know, when it come for landing on the parachute, this was always, there was no way to stop it. You could see 100 meters before
you're committed, you're gonna land.
And in a balloon, you could stop, watch the birds from the top and so on. And this was and is still very, very fascinating. And then I got in touch with these funny guys flying these hydrogen balloons. And, you know, they told me, you never can do this. It's too expensive. It's, you know, and then for me, this was,
challenge.
I can do this. This was a challenge for me, yes. And also there, I was lucky to meet Peter Prader, his name, and he came with me to fly this balloon. And really, Regan, I tell you, the first flight we made, I did everything from the start to the landing was hard, and I just did it right like this. And then I got in touch with Kurt Frieden, and everything I know, or most of the things I know, he taught me then. And you know, the flight to get the license, we started in Magdeburg in Germany one evening, and this was the flight to get the license for me, you know. And Kurt was in the balloon, and Pascal Witprechtiger, his co-pilot now. And we started in Magdeburg, and we were flying through the night up to Hamburg. In Hamburg, we crossed the sea over to Denmark, and then we crossed all Denmark, and in the north of Denmark in the evening, we landed there. And this was one of the greatest adventures, and the first one in this and that's why I'm so impressed of this hydrogen balloons.
And how did you then get involved in the Gordon Bennett? How did that come into your life?
Okay, of course. Once you got the license to fly this this funny balloon, you get in touch with this Gordon Bennett stuff, and for 2 or 3 years I always watched them, the races, and then Max Krebs, his co-pilot, decided not to fly anymore, and I was contacting Max Krebs, and he wasn't so happy about this. He was looking for somebody else, but all the others didn't want it to go. So at last I became his co-pilot for the race, which started in Bristol. It's about 11 years ago,
Yes.
12 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then I was for two races in his basket for as a co-pilot, and like I said to myself, I have to do the whole business on my own. And then a young friend of mine, hotel pilot, Felix Gerber, his name, you know, he was, when he still was in school, he always was following me with his bicycle when he saw my hotel balloon.
Really?
Always. And then at night we brought him home. We put his bicycle into our trailer and brought Felix home, and went to his parents and said, so he's back again. So they didn't have to worry, you know.
Yeah.
And then Felix came with me 2 times as a co-pilot, and then it was too much for him. He started his own business, and then was Ernst Schuppert, also a hot air balloon, was flying with me as co-pilot 2 times, and also very special moments. Once we had over France, he just fell down, you know, and he was gone like this. Because he was sick or something.
Yeah.
So I tried to get him up again, and he was just sitting in the corner of the basket, and I was all there alone by myself. And I went down between the mountains there at the place of Kappelat. You know it for sure, because Kappelat is also a basic for skydiving, isn't it? Yeah. And then I went down there between the mountains, and I was very lucky, this landing into a tree. The tree stopped me. The balloon just wanted to go, and then after the you know, it was maybe 30 kilometers fast, and then the balloon stopped, and then it get loose right out of this tree and into a field, and there I was, just one of the luckiest pilots ever. And Ernst was Ernst, he come okay again then, but then badly the year after he died. Young ages, he had something with his brain, and he just died. And then my former pilot, Max Krebs, came back to me now as the co-pilot.
Yeah.
Now we are the dream team, the old man on Gordon Bennett. Both of us nearly 70, you know. we are enjoying it very, very much in flying together and you know, being friends together up there. This is very you know, the situation up there in the basket, you have to go to the toilet, or Max is smoking his cigars, and you have to feel like home, being in front of the TV. Just the TV is your navigation system or something like this.
Yes.
And we together start again now this year in Poland.
You must really get to know somebody completely when you're together for so long. You know?
Yes. Yeah. You must, you know, everybody's different. Everybody has got different,
different drives, different motivation.
I decided when we are up at night at 2,000 meters, and I don't know, can I? Of course, I can tell you. And it's 9 or 10 o'clock, and the full moon was shining. We were 2,000 meters above the ground. The balloon is flying stable. I open up a bottle of wine, light myself a cigar, and then we go into the night like this. It's just fantastic, and it's very helpful for the friendship, you know.
Yes. And the stars must be incredible on those night flights. You're away from all light pollution.
Yes, yes, they are. Oh, and there are always some adventures, like the last time we started here in Zurich, there were not many planes flying, you know, and we always have to cross the airport of Zurich. And then these guys we know quite well. And the one said, I send you a plane, I have to send a plane out in your direction. You can watch out, but he knows where you are and he can see you. I tell you, this was Zurich to Tokyo, a plane, a big one. He wasn't 500 meters away from us, just turning around our basket, just because the guys they also liked it, you know, there in the cockpit, meeting us there. And this is really nice.
That's incredible. How many Gordon Bennetts have you done now?
This one will be the 11th one.
11 is it really already? Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Which has been your favorite so far?
My favorite so far was, the first one, I think, because we started in Bristol, we went out to the sea, down to the south, and we were, and I just get to know this business by this flight, you know, and you know this balloon is a very special thing. You have to fly. It's stable, and but not only every 10 meters you lose, or even 100 meters you lose on height. This is still stable, you know, because it comes back again.
Yes,
and
with the sun. For
a youngster, you would correct it by putting out some ballast, and then you get higher and higher and higher. So I could learn very much here. And then we came down to France. It was evening, to the border to Spain and to the Pyrenees. There was another military airport, and these guys, the ATC guys there, they told us we are not allowed to cross their airspace. So we got ready to go down, and really in the last minute before we opened up the ventil to put out some gas to start descending, the guy came again on the radio and said, you are allowed to penetrate the area. You know, this was just like, whoa. And then we went in to the Pyrenees and crossed the Pyrenees at night with full moon. Below us, the mountains and snow and everything, and very down in the valleys, there was fog, and you just could see through the fog the lights of this villages down there, and us two up there. This was a feeling like, I don't know.
Yes, so many incredible memories, so many pictures and emotions over the years. It is superb, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, and this is what makes the difference maybe between me and Willy, for instance, or Kurt Frieden and so on. They are more sportsmen than I am, because I can see what I can do. You know, where the things going to be too much for me. You know. Like after 50, 60 hours, still having fun, still having enough concentration for airspace and so on, you know. And for me, it's more all these moments I told you, to enjoy these moments, and one thing more, it's just incredible to be a part of this Gordon Bennett family. I love them all, really, all of them.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm so fortunate to have been brought in for my little piece of it. What are you up to now for preparations? Is the work already in play for you for this year's Gordon Bennett, or not yet?
Yes, already in play. We are preparing the basket now. We put in a hole just to when we sleep, to get the feet out of the basket, you know, to sleep the long way. And we gonna work on a thing like we can call it a cockpit, you know. We have got in front of us where we have all the stuff and all the telephone and navigation and radio, and so all in front of us. And in the middle of it, a little table where we can cook our tea or soup or something like this, and prepare our food. And that's where we do the whole work new. We don't, not like we had it the last years. So the basket will be completely new. Then, now we're gonna go. Now we're gonna fly a few times this balloon, and then we're gonna have a close look at the balloon. We blow them up, go inside, and have a look at if there are holes which we can fix, and so on. Yeah, we still work on it. And then we have not only we or I, all the teams, we have got a team, you know, at home. There's a guy, Hilmar. He does the ATC stuff for us. You know, we don't have to worry too much. He says, okay, now you, in 1 hour, you get into this airspace. There's this radio frequency you have to contact. Even he contacts them before and says, hey, there's a balloon coming. And so, and then we've got a meteorologist. She's the greatest meteorologist ever I've seen. And these two work together for us, and they also do the routing. They try to direct us to a way where we can avoid to get into the bigger airports like Frankfurt, Vienna, like. So they try already hours before to give us instructions at which height we could find the wind to get past it. And if this is not possible, then they try to get in contact with them. And so we actually can enjoy it and just do what they tell us, you know.
How did you get the team together? How did you find them?
Yeah, this one, the guy who does the ATC stuff, Hilmar, he's a hot air balloon pilot, and he also now flies these gas balloons, and he just likes. I did ask him if he wants to fly with me. He said no. I enjoy to fly with you on ground, and they don't go to sleep. And the other one, the meteorologist, a friend of mine told me about her, and then I contacted her. And first she didn't really know what's on, and now she's just she's waiting for it, you know. Yeah. She cooks her stuff and the tea and everything, and just to be ready on the computer to guide us.
Fantastic. Well, what a great.
And the other one is my wife and a friend who drive the car to retrieve the retrieve car with the trailer and to get us back again. And this is also something, you know, when you're like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when we landed up in Poland, you know, we're not going after landing going into to the car and straight away home. No, never ever. We enjoy the stay with the team, you know. We go 200-300 kilometers and look out for a nice hotel and go to eat and so on. This is always a celebration also for the retrieve team. This is for me very important. I think not only for me. If I look at all the others that do it actually also the same way.
Yes. Well, it is, isn't it? It is part of one team, and it's a good opportunity to find yourself somewhere else on the road that you would probably not be in. You know, you've got the right time, you've got the situation to explore where you are. It's such an amazing sport, such an amazing event, that it has so many layers to it that people don't realize until they start to actually watch and understand so much to it.
Yeah, you're right. But you know, you know how many people are watching us on a computer, the computer tracking, and now in last years it always got better. You got on a cell phone, you know, you got the messages up to the balloon. It wasn't always like this, but now always getting better. The phones are getting better. The aerials are getting better. So we are always in contact with people at home, with friends, or even people from Australia who call us and say, we are watching you. And so and it's also very nice. You know, we enjoy everybody who contacts us.
Well, Walter, it's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you and have this conversation. It's been really entertaining. I will see you in Poland, won't I? I'll see you there.
Yes, I hope so. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell you my view, my personal view of this sport.
It's been fantastic. Thank you very much, Walter. You take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.